How to set healthy boundaries with toxic people without losing yourself. There was a time when I believed that if I stayed calm, explained myself better, and kept adjusting, things would eventually improve. It did not happen suddenly. It started in small ways, ignoring one uncomfortable comment, saying yes when I actually wanted to say no, letting something go just to avoid conflict. At that moment, it feels harmless. You tell yourself it's not a big deal, that you are just being understanding. But this is exactly how it begins. A person doesn't get drained all at once, it happens slowly over time. You keep adjusting a little more each day, and because the change is gradual, you don't even realize what's happening. One day you look back and feel constantly tired, irritated, or mentally exhausted. But you can't clearly point out why. That's because your limits were crossed in small, unnoticed ways again and again. In the last video, we talked about how to recognize toxic or narcissistic behavior. But recognition alone doesn't protect you, especially when these people are part of your daily life. They can be family, colleagues, or people you interact with regularly. So, the real challenge is not just identifying them, but learning how to stay mentally and emotionally stable around them. That's where boundaries come in. Not as something harsh or aggressive, but as something clear and steady. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they are about deciding what you are okay with and what you are not willing to continue accepting. And this starts with awareness. You begin by noticing your own patterns. Where do you feel uncomfortable but still stay quiet? Where do you agree just to keep things smooth? Which interactions leave you feeling slightly off, even if nothing major happened? These are small signals, but they matter. If you ignore them, they build up. Once you are clear about your limits, expression becomes simpler. You don't need long explanation or emotional reactions. A calm and direct response is enough. Saying something like I am not comfortable with this or I would not be able to do that is enough. The more you try to explain everything, the more space you give the other person to question or twist your words. Clarity is stronger than over explaining. When you start doing this, not everyone will respond positively. Some people may question you, some may try to make you feel guilty, and some may act like you have changed. And the truth is, you have changed. No longer ignoring your own limits. This can feel uncomfortable in the beginning because you are breaking a pattern that has been there for a long time. This is where consistency becomes important. You don't need to react to everything or defend yourself in every situation. You just need to stay steady in your response. When your behavior stays consistent, people slowly understand that your limits are not temporary. Another important part of this is learning where to invest your energy. Not every situation needs your emotional involvement. Toxic behavior often pulls you into unnecessary reactions, but the more you react, the more control you give away. Sometimes choosing not to engage deeply is the strongest response. You can stay calm, neutral, and still protect your space. In some situations, creating distance becomes necessary. This does not mean cutting people off suddenly or creating drama. It can be simple and practical. You may reduce how much you share, limit unnecessary conversation, or step back from situations that drain you. Distance is not about rejection, it is about giving yourself space to stay balanced. At the same time, it is important to pay attention to what is happening inside you. When you keep adjusting for too long, It affects how you see yourself. You may start doubting your reactions or feel like you are overthinking everything. This is why boundaries alone are not enough. You also need to rebuild your inner stability. Take small moments to reset. Spend time without constant noise or distraction. Notice what actually makes you feel calm. The more stable you become internally, the less external behavior disturbs you. Over time, something shifts. You stop reacting instantly. You stop explaining yourself unnecessarily. You become more aware of where your energy goes. This is not about becoming distant or cold, it is about becoming steady. And that steadiness changes everything. In the end, boundaries are not about pushing people away, they are about making sure you don't lose yourself while trying to keep everything else together. You don't need to be aggressive and you don't need to prove anything. You just need clarity and the willingness to stand by it. And if somewhere while listening to this you felt like this is exactly what you have been going through, then don't ignore that feeling. That awareness is the first real step toward change. Take it seriously, and if this helped you see things a little more clearly, you can share your experience in the comments. Sometimes just putting it into words helps more than we expect. And if you want more content like this, where we talk about real situations in a practical way, you can stay connected. Thank you.